Ever wondered how humanity transitioned from barter to Bitcoin? Well, let's take a stroll down memory lane, back to a time when money was not even a concept. Yes, we're talking about the era of the barter system, the first form of trade. Imagine living in a world where there were no dollar bills or credit cards. A world where if you were a potter and needed a loaf of bread, you would have to find a baker who needed pots. This was the barter system, a simple and straightforward method of trade. Each party would trade goods or services based on mutually agreed upon values. But, as you can guess, it was not always practical. The barter system's main challenge was the need for a coincidence of wants. This meant both parties had to want what the other had to offer at the same time. If the potter needed bread but the baker didn't need pots, well, the potter would go hungry. Not an ideal situation, right? This led to the birth of commodity money. Certain goods began to be recognized for their inherent value and were used as a medium of exchange. These were items that had value in themselves as well as value in their use as money. Salt, tea, shells, and even cattle served as commodity money at different times and places around the world. Salt, for instance, was highly prized for its ability to preserve food, making it a valuable commodity. In some societies, people were paid in salt. The Latin word for salt is salarium, which is where we get the word salary from. Similarly, tea bricks were used as money in parts of Asia, and cowrie shells were used in Africa and Asia. But even commodity money had its drawbacks. It was bulky, difficult to transport, and its value could fluctuate based on supply and demand. These challenges led humanity to continually innovate and search for better solutions. Thus, the need for a more reliable and convenient form of exchange led us to the invention of money. But that's a story for the next scene. Stay tuned. Coins, a symbol of wealth and power. But where did it all begin? Our journey starts in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, located in what's now modern-day Turkey. Around 600 years before Christ, the Lydians were the first to introduce the concept of coins. Not just any coins, mind you, but the first standardized form of money. These coins were made from a naturally occurring mixture of gold and silver called electrum. Imagine, a world where money literally sprung from the earth. The Lydians would take this precious metal, refine it, and mint it into standardized pieces. Each coin was impressed with a lion's head, the symbol of the Lydian kingdom, a mark of guarantee of its value. This was a revolutionary idea. Until then, trade was often a messy business of bartering goods. With coins, the Lydians introduced a system that was simple, efficient, and universally accepted within their realm. Coins were easily portable, durable, and most importantly, they had a standardized value. This meant you knew exactly what you were getting. No more haggling over the value of a cow versus a sack of grain. But the influence of coinage didn't stop at Lydia's borders. Like a ripple in a pond, the concept spread across the ancient world. The Greeks, enamored with the idea, started minting their own coins, embellishing them with a variety of intricate designs. From Greece, the idea traveled to Persia and later to Rome, each civilization adding their own unique twist to their coinage. Coins bridged gaps between civilizations, fostering trade and economic growth. They were more than just pieces of metal. They were a symbol of a civilization's wealth, power, and technological prowess. They told stories of kings, gods, and heroes. They were pieces of art, pieces of history. But as powerful as they were, coins had their limitations. As civilizations grew and trade routes expanded, the need for a more efficient form of money became apparent. As the world grew, so did the need for a more efficient form of money. From heavy coins to lightweight paper, how did we make the shift? The story of paper money begins in the East, specifically in China during the Tang Dynasty, around the 7th century. It was during this period that the Chinese began to experiment with a new form of currency, one that was a departure from the traditional coins they had been using. Picture this. Instead of lugging around hefty bags of coins, people started using pieces of paper, a much lighter and more convenient alternative. But how did this work? Well, these pieces of paper were not just ordinary paper, but rather they were a form of receipt. In those days, merchants and wholesalers needed a secure place to store their goods, like grain, iron, and silk. In exchange for depositing these goods with a trusted holder, they would receive a receipt. Over time, these receipts began to be used as a form of payment themselves, circulating among people in trade. This was the birth of paper money, initially known as jiaozi. It was a game changer. It made trade simpler, more efficient, and significantly less cumbersome. But the story doesn't end there. the concept of paper money didn't stay confined to the borders of China. Like many great inventions, it began to spread, first across Asia and then into the Western world. By the 14th century, paper money had made its way to Europe, introduced by travelers like Marco Polo, who were fascinated by this innovative form of currency. It took some time for the idea to catch on, but eventually, it did. By the 17th century, the use of paper money had become widespread in the West. It had transformed from being a form of receipt to a dominant form of currency, backed by the promise of gold and silver reserves. Paper money revolutionized trade, making it more accessible and efficient. It was a significant leap in the history of money, changing the way we think about and use currency. But the journey of money did not stop there. The next evolution was just around the corner. Entering the 21st century, money took a digital turn. But how? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? So let's delve in. In the early years of the 21st century, the world started to witness a significant shift in the way we transact. Money, as we knew it, was going digital. The rise of digital transactions began with the introduction of credit cards. Now, instead of carrying a hefty wallet filled with cash and coins, all one needed was a single, sleek plastic card. Revolutionary, right? But oh, the digital age was just getting started. Enter stage right, online banking. No longer did people have to stand in long queues at the bank to manage their finances. With just a few clicks, you could transfer money, pay bills, and even apply for loans from the comfort of your own home. Or anywhere in the world, for that matter. The convenience and speed of this digital shift was unparalleled, and it changed the way we perceived and interacted with money. But the digital age wasn't done transforming the world of finance yet. The next big thing on the horizon? Mobile payment platforms. These platforms offered an even more convenient method of making transactions. All you needed was your smartphone and presto. You could pay for your coffee, split the bill at dinner, or even send money to a friend halfway around the world. This digital revolution didn't just make our lives easier, it also opened the doors for financial inclusion. People who previously had no access to banking services could now participate in the economy. This democratization of finance was, and still is, one of the most significant impacts of the digital age. The digital era has indeed transformed the way we handle money. It has made transactions faster, easier, and more accessible to people all around the globe. But the story of money doesn't end here. As we moved into the digital era, a new form of money was on the horizon. Imagine a world where money is decentralized and digital. That's the world of cryptocurrency. Let's take a leap forward from the dawn of the digital age to the creation of Bitcoin in 2009. It emerged from an idea, a concept that money doesn't need to be controlled by a central authority. Instead, it can be decentralized, existing purely in a digital form. This was a revolutionary thought, a radical departure from the conventional understanding of money. Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency, was created by an anonymous entity known as Satoshi Nakamoto. The idea behind it? To create a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that would allow online payments to be sent from one party to another without going through a financial institution. A system that could potentially change the way we perceive and use money. But how does it work? The answer lies in the concept of blockchain, a public ledger containing all transaction data from anyone who uses Bitcoin. Transactions are added to blocks, or the links of code that make up the chain, and each transaction must be recorded on a block. This ensures secure and transparent transactions without the need for intermediaries. The potential of cryptocurrencies is vast. They promise to make our transactions faster, cheaper, and more secure. They could democratize the financial world, making it accessible to those who are currently unbanked. But like all innovations, they come with their own set of challenges. From regulatory issues to the environmental impact of mining coins, there's a lot that needs to be addressed. So, where does this leave us? In a world that's ever evolving, the journey of money continues. The shift from barter to coin, from paper to digital, and now to cryptocurrencies, is a testament to our relentless pursuit for a more efficient means of trade. It's a journey of transformation, of evolution, and of revolution. From barter to Bitcoin, the journey of money is a fascinating one, reflecting our continuous quest for a better, more efficient means of trade.